when it comes to aliens, there's some things I just can't tell you on air. But what is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern. And so, I think that people still take seriously trying to investigate and figure out what that is.
That was one of the most tortured ways of saying we have no idea what the hell is going on.
Classic Obama.
Which at least is the truth. I mean, he wouldn't even say it whenever he was in office. There's a continued quote here. He says, quote, "When I came into office, I asked, I was like, all right, is there a lab somewhere where we're keeping alien specimens in a spaceship?" And, they did a little bit of research, and the answer is no. And then he launches into the answer.
I think he's joking in that part, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Look, there's a lot of conversation to be had about whether presidents can even be told a lot of this stuff. President Clinton famously, I think he was asked on stage in 2005, and he's like, "I'm embarrassed to say I tried to find out and I couldn't." And because John Podesta, his chief of staff, is a huge UFO guy and actually wrote a foreword to Leslie Kean's book on UFOs, and he also admits that while he was in office, the second most powerful person in the United States government, he was unable to attain a lot of the information that we have around this. So I do think, though, it is very interesting that Obama's comments, especially remember Obama was president during many of the encounters, or at least whenever a lot of it was being studied in the program which eventually came to light in 2017 under the Trump administration. So if anything, he would be privy at the very least to some of the footage that we see here. Same thing where Tyler Cowen recently asked John Brennan, who was a CIA director, and he said the same thing. Under Obama, he was like, yeah, there are unexplained phenomena, and we have footage of that. And I think, again, one of the important pieces of the discussion is people are always trying to say, they're drones, these are foreign drones. There's a big piece, I think it's in the War Drive or whatever, saying that these are Chinese or Russian or some sort of either enemy or unknown terrestrial technology. Whenever people say unexplained, or whenever people talk about, and I think Lou Elizondo said this in the CBS special, we're talking about something that's going 13,000 miles per hour, which defies all the laws of physics and of known human flight. There's no drone on Earth capable of doing something like that.
Right.
And the mystifying nature to which Obama, this is one of the most confident people in the world, and he's dumbstruck about how exactly how to talk about it, I think does tell you that if this was foreign technology that they were trying to cover up, they would just be handling it very differently.
That's very true. And look, obviously the military investigated all of those obvious, is it a shadow on the radar? Is it a drone? Is it a weather balloon or whatever? Clearly they ruled out those possibilities.